Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is, well, it's a weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, February 4th, National Creative Vacuum Day, National Hemp Day, National Homemade Soup Day, National Thank a Mail Carrier Day. You should do that often, by the way.
Okay.
Don't you agree?
Sure.
National Play Outside Day. What a weird time of year for that. And Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Sunday, February 5th, National Shower with a Friend Day. Heidi? Huh? National Weather Persons Day. Oh, I got some weather persons to reach out to. And World Nutella Day. Okay. It is a busy, busy weekend. A lot of things going on. And I've got a guest joining me. Oh, I've got the book right here. Look at this book. That is a big old book.
That is a big old book.
Valentine Low is a journalist from Britain. And he's got a new book out, Courtiers, Intrigue, Ambition, and the Power Players Behind the House of Windsor. Going to chat about that.
That's
right on the
super
front
exciting.
cover. You got Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and you got Prince William and his wife. What's her name? See, she's not in the news as much. That Megan knows what she's up to. All right, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. If you're starting to think about your kids' birthday parties this year, here's an idea of what you can expect according to a poll of parents. The average child's party involves 16 guests, 9 presents, and it lasts 3 hours. That's weird. 16 guests, but only 9 presents.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
The survey of parents with kids ages 3 to 12 found that 67% of birthday boys and girls expect to enjoy their favorite foods. 67%. 56% plan to have a clown or a costume character at their party. 44% look forward to inflatable play sets. 43% like laser tag. And party themes, unicorns are the most popular, followed by video game themes. So for those of you who would like, Heidi is available for parties, and she's got so many talents. That would really be funny to see Heidi entertaining kids at parties. First of all, you wouldn't want Heidi entertaining your kids at parties. I can't get over 16 guests, but only 9 presents. So some of the kids show up without presents, apparently. I would never thought to do that. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know that billionaire Bill Gates has announced an investment in Australian startup Rumin8? It's developing a seaweed-based feed to reduce the methane emissions from cows. And it's from cows belching and, other things where they're, letting gas out. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas with 84 times more global warming potential than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. Nearly 1/3 of global methane emissions come from livestock, most of that from cows. So they go, hey, I got an idea. Instead of having all these cows, how about we just all start eating seaweed? And Bill Gates said, that's such a good idea, I'm going to invest in that.
Okay.
I don't think seaweed sounds really good, so they must have a lot of spices. I don't know how you make seaweed sound good. All right, we don't know everything, but now we know this. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Sarah Michelle Gellar is set to receive the Icon Award at this year's SCAD TV Fest. The Emmy winner, who graced TV screens for years, is our favorite vampire slayer. Is going to be honored in Atlanta during a festival that runs February 9th through the 11th. So it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Amazon Studios is working with Phoebe Waller-Bridge to write a TV series as part of a potential Tomb Raider universe that would span television, film, and games. Says they're working on this right now. She was also a writer on No Time to Die and Solo, a Star Wars story. And she's a creator of Fleabag and Killing Eve. So she's got plenty of other projects that she's had a chance to do. So that's kind of cool. I've never really been a big, Tomb Raider person, but I know there's people out there that are big fans of all of that.
Yeah, I have not actually even seen those,
Yeah,
but
so, I don't know. We're a little old and out of touch. Sorry, kids. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. You know the famous side-eye meme? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a meme. His name is Dunnerst Colin. He was 9 years old at the time. He was in line at a Popeyes in New Jersey when a stranger pulled out their phone to record Colin and compared him to a boy who was internet famous at the time for his dance moves. Colin gave the man filming kind of a side, like he looked at him funny, and then he kind of looked away and looked at him again. And the video went viral. He was standing there with like a cup in his hand, getting ready to just get a refill.
okay.
And I guarantee you've seen
I'm
this
sure
kid.
I've seen it. I would have to
It's
see
been
it.
shared. It's been all over. And a lot of the time people will post this famous GIF of this kid. It got posted to Vine. It went virtual. It's all over there. It went viral, rather. It went all over the world. Anyway, the kid is now 18 years old. He was 9 when this happened. He's a freshman football player at Lake Erie College in Painesville, Ohio. And he's embracing his claim to fame. He even got a deal where he signed on with Popeyes Restaurants as a sponsorship. They're going to use his name and his image and his likeness on billboards and other ads. Again, he was in a Popeyes restaurant when this whole thing happened.
That's crazy.
He says initially his family wasn't too happy with social media because all of a sudden this kid, he was 9 and he's everywhere.
Right.
And people were using it and they weren't getting permission. They were just using it. And there were some people using it for good, but not always. Because again, it was him kind of looking over like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And just an adorable kid, by the way. They said now that's turned into a nice opportunity. So they're not so mad about it. The partnership came after a social media campaign by Colin and his fans. Although a few other chicken chains expressed interest, Popeyes sent him a private message within a few hours and had somebody present him with an offer. And they said, yeah, let's do this. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I do have a link to the video, the original one, and what he looks like today. All of that is in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Our guest is the author of a new book, Courtiers, Intrigue, Ambition, and the Power Players Behind the House of Windsor. We have Valentine Low joining us. Now, your career has been absolutely fascinating. Let's talk about what you were doing before you started putting this book together.
Well, I've been a reporter pretty much all my working life. I've done all sorts of things other than the royal family, but, I've covered the Gulf War, covered 9/11, covered the tsunami out in Thailand. But I did, on my previous newspaper, I used to work for a London paper called the Evening Standard, and I did some royal coverage there. And I went with the Queen on some of the most historic trips to Moscow for the first time, to South Africa for the first time. And I've worked for the Times of London since 2008, covering the royal family mostly, a few other things as well, but covering the royal family through some pretty interesting times, I have to say.
When it comes to the royal family, there's always been an interest, but it seems like recently there's been a lot of interest.
There certainly have. I mean, it's been one heck of a roller coaster. I mean, you've had the Prince Andrew story, and then all the Harry and Meghan dramas. I mean, it's been one thing after another, and the Harry and Meghan drama just doesn't stop. It's been the longest-running soap opera in royal history, practically.
I find it fascinating that they say they want to be out of the spotlight and just have a normal life, but everything they're doing is basically climbing their way into their own spotlight.
So it's very interesting what's happened there. I think Harry, in another life, would have been very happy completely out of the spotlight. I think if he'd gone off to be, a game warden in an African game park or something like that, he would have been very happy, I think. If he'd stayed in the military, he could have been very happy. Not sitting behind a desk. Harry's not really a sitting behind a desk kind of guy. But there are also ways he could be happy not in the spotlight. But I think Meghan sort of likes the spotlight, and let's be charitable for once. I think perhaps they want to use the spotlight in order to do some good, but they've swapped one spotlight for another, haven't they?
And I almost feel like they want to have their own thing. They don't necessarily want to be royals. They want to have their own fame.
Yep, exactly. And the trouble is they have to go off and do something positive because, frankly, they have been moaning a lot. They have been complaining a lot, and
Yeah.
I think the world is beginning to tire slightly of their complaints, and people are beginning to think, come on, what have you got to offer that's positive? Let's hear something positive from you, because they can't keep on going on about how awful the British royal family was.
And they have this amazing platform where they could do some good things, some very, very good things. And it'd be great 5 years from now to look back and say, look at all these amazing, wonderful Harry and Meghan stories. But I kind of just got a feeling that maybe that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, I find it very hard to predict how this one's going to play out. I really do. We're at a turning point now, because we've had the Netflix series, we've had the book, so surely we've heard enough from Harry on that subject. But of course, there's a threat that there's a Meghan book out there. What's she going to say? Meghan, her story. I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat.
And now let's turn our attention back to your book, Courtiers, Intrigue, Ambition, and the Power Players Behind the House of Windsor. You've been working on this for years. This is something you've done for decades. How do you even decide what makes it in the book?
Well, I had to cut a lot out. There was a lot of interesting history that I wrote about in my first version of the book, and the book was too long, and we had to get the scissors out and chuck all that stuff out. But you try and have a strong narrative, don't you? And but I also thought that there's lots I wanted to cover in this book, not just Harry and Meghan. I thought there was interesting things about Charles, because how Charles runs his household was quite different to how the Queen ran hers, and there were interesting points to make there. I thought the Prince Andrew story was interesting because, in one short sentence, Andrew doesn't listen to advice. And then there's some great characters. I mean, one of my favourite chapters is about the Queen Mother, and there's some great stories in that, which I'm not going to tell here on air because most of them involve terrible language. One of the Queen Mother's closest courtiers was a fantastically colourful figure, but boy, oh boy, he had some fruity language.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Greatly enjoyed it.
Again, our guest has been Valentine Low. He's the author of Courtiers, Intrigue, Ambition, and the Power Players Behind the House of Windsor. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
For the tallest waffle stack record, Guinness maintains a 40-page document to define what a waffle is.
Wow.
Well, somebody asked. Oh, boy. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A lot of that weird, creepy music in horror movies is performed on one unique instrument called a waterphone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you ever wondered, what is that sound? That's what it is. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to a 2014 study, the melting properties of mozzarella make it the best cheese topping for pizza. So the best cheese for pizza toppings
I would
is
agree with that.
mozzarella. And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
If you keep a goldfish in a dark room away from light, eventually it will become pale, almost white. That's interesting. There you go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. A single person tends to do this twice as much as somebody who is in a relationship. What is it? Not that. The answer is... Would you just stop? The answer is send a text.
Oh.
Text message. Single people text twice
yeah,
as
that's
often
what I
as...
was-
Twice
what I
as
was
often
thinking.
as turning her microphone off. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. They spend thousands of dollars mailing them to anyone with an address. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. bettercreditcards.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Winnipeg School Division has classified the sport of curling as high risk. Students were invited to participate in 3 Learn to Curl sessions, but first parents were asked to sign and submit permission slips. In doing so, they were expected to acknowledge that incidents and accidents could happen because of curling. The document reads in part, I understand that curling is considered a high-risk activity. I'm going to pause for a second. You know what curling is, right? It's where they take a little weight and they
no.
slide it down the
Oh, yeah,
ice
yeah, yeah.
and people go in front of it and
Yep.
sweep.
Yep.
That's curling.
Okay. Why is
High
that
risk
high risk?
activity. They're saying that everybody's encouraged to wear appropriate helmets. One of the parents of the prospective curler said he couldn't help but laugh when he read the division's classification of the non-contact sport. How did we get to this point where we're in a place where parents are letting your kids on the ice? Just being on the ice is a high-risk activity now? They're saying, what's going on? This is Canada. So it's weird.
Everybody's gotten so soft.
Yeah,
I feel
kind of.
like.
Weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. These are things that you can say to both a toddler or a drunk friend. This was sent to me. You can nap here. Or you can't nap here. You need to go to your bed. This one.
Yeah.
We never touch our private parts in public. Chew with your mouth closed. Keep your fingers out of your nose. I'm not playing that song again. We heard it 15 times. Put your pants on. Things you can say to a toddler and a drunk friend. I know, couch is a funny word. We need to use our inside voice. Don't point. It's rude. Again, things you can say to both a toddler or your drunk friend. I'm not saying that one on the air. You could go back. Please go back and wash your hands. Do you really think whining will get you what you want? I'm not going to ask you to sit down again. Sit down. And there's more. You can read them. Some of them are not meant for the radio. But thanks for sending that to me. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Quote today is from Ken Hubbard, who says, The safe way to double your money is to fold it over once and put it back in your pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that. It's a good way to do it. It doesn't change the value of it, but it is a good way to do it.
But you're not going to lose it either.
It's your quote of the day. It does come your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com. I love this story. First of all, I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. Just love him.
Yeah, me too.
I
don't know that there's anybody who doesn't.
Pretty much, yeah. And we work with Mint Mobile, and one of the reasons we work with Mint Mobile is because it's owned in part by Ryan Reynolds, which is kind of cool, I'd say.
Yeah. We even got a Christmas card from him.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of neat. Ryan Reynolds now has given a football team in the United Kingdom a huge boost. This is the time of year a lot of people are talking about football because there's that big game that we can't even say the words.
And the United Kingdom football would be soccer.
I know. So United Kingdom is a different type of football, but there's a under 12 football team in the UK, which is like soccer. But they were trying to come up with enough money to get new uniforms. So he became the co-owner of a National League team there, the Wrexham AFC in Wales back in 2020. Ryan Reynolds did. He's a co-owner of that. And Kaylee Barton, chair for the Wrexham Kids team, set up a fundraising page to raise £480 for new uniforms. She was surprised when she got an email saying somebody named Ryan donated £1,600, which is like 3 times more than they needed. She first thought, who in the world is Ryan? And then she opened up the email and said, wait a minute, Ryan Reynolds?
That's pretty cool.
She said, I just started shaking. I couldn't believe it. How neat is that?
That's pretty cool.
I think that's very, very cool.
He just seems like the coolest guy.
He and some other folks are working on a documentary for that's about John Candy. I'm a huge fan of John Candy.
Are.
And I would love to talk to them about that because I've got some fun things that I would like to share, some things that I think would be cool for their documentary. So if you know anybody that's working with him on that, have your people reach out to my people. What's that? I have no people? Have them reach out to me. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.